So this is the working class areas. Just a typical Saturday. Come on, boy. Kids playing football. Really good atmosphere. Oh me, man. Yeah, it's amazing feeling, guys. All different people coming together. Like it's all different people from all over the world. Like I keep saying, like we've got like Russians and Ukrainians. Come on, boy. Russians, Ukrainians, Polish, Latvians. Every type. We've got Muslims, Sikhs, Nigerians. Yeah, all living in our community, and like we all live in harmony. Everybody accepts everybody else, and nobody's trying to change anything. We still have our Sunday schools, and our churches are quite strong. Our nativity plays are still going strong in our schools. Even though it is under threat. There's no two ways about it. But it's a really peaceful and harmonious place, and I always wish everybody had what I had, because I know you don't. I know what you are going through. I know what it's like on your streets. It's a crying shame, an absolute crying shame. I come from Belfast City, and didn't have none of this. None of this. We end up just on the streets fighting and whatnot and ratting. But listen, I'm here to talk about something, guys. Just giving you a wee look of life in a working class area. Really nice area, but proper working class. People are struggling. But done a wee video on YouTube, guys. I do some videos for TikTok, but my big videos are on YouTube, because you can't say anything on any other platform really, apart from X. So obviously I'm on X, Freedom Dad 73 on X. Please go there and follow me. I'll follow you back. I follow everybody back that isn't spam or like a girl trying to chase OnlyFans. You know what I mean? It's like, so any patriots, like 100%. It's a good place for us to gather. 100%. X, dead name Twitter. It's really easy. Just go into your app store and download the app X, you know what I mean, and then just follow the instructions from there. You should be able to log in using your ID on your phone, whether your iPhone or your Android or whatever, you know what I mean. So it's set up pretty simple. Before you know it, you've got an account. You don't have to use your own name. You can use any name, Yeah, it's quite good. It is really good, and it has guidelines and laws and rules and everything else. You can't just go there and be hateful, which is a good thing as well. And we do need more patriots on there, because the left have got some sort of campaign going right now and just coming out with nonsense, absolute nonsense. I seen one this morning, and it was this horrible guy going, how would you feel if you heard this outside in your area 5 times a day? Like they called a prayer from a mosque, like the loudspeaker, and then without even waiting for any answer from anybody, he's answered his own question by going, you probably hate it because you're all far right racist thugs. And like, what? I just woke up, man, and like, what? So yeah, there's stuff like that going on. Really bad, really bad. Like I say, we screenshot and keep for another day. Simple as that, guys. We won't forget these guys, you know what I mean? These guys, because they're breeding hatred, and they're getting away with it because the left, they're doing it for the left-wing government. So they're getting away with breeding all this hatred. This is why it's so personal to me. I hate it, because if you're going to come down and hard on one extreme side, you have to come down and hard on the other extreme side. And some of the things that they're getting away with is unbelievable. Making claims that a Muslim woman's been thingied with acid on her face when it wasn't live, putting it out online. Guys got beat for that. White English guys got beat because of that post. But yet nothing was done about it, you know what I mean? Mick Sutsbury, you call him, he's like the leader of that Hope Not Hate, or highly involved. Or is it Mick Lowles or Mick? I don't know. The two of them are as bad as each other anyway. I think it might be Lowles. Yeah. You can research it. Go to Tommy's page. He knows better. Listen, I'm not well educated like that. Like I say, I don't read stuff. I don't take notes. I don't write nothing down or nothing like that. I just come on the phone and talk with what I see. And I just think it's better content. I know it would be better if I explained myself a wee bit better, guys, and I apologise, but it's raw. It's just raw, coming from my head, and I do my best. And I promise you, if you've any questions, just ask me in comments. I'll read your comments and I'll reply to the ones I need to reply to. It's not a problem. Like, you know, people got to understand, because of my mental health, you know, I spend a lot of time alone. And it's good. I've got the time to do that, because I don't do nothing else. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I smoke, but I don't take drugs. I'm trying to stop. You know what I mean? I've stopped about 3 times. I just can't do it. You know what I mean? I've tried with the patches, but I am trying that. But like I say, I don't go out or nothing like that. I'm a family man, and like, even though I haven't had family, I do now. So yeah, I'm a family man. I'm quite proud to say that, by the way. So yeah, but anyway, listen, I know you fucking hate these big long videos and that, you know what I mean? But I am here to talk about something, and it's about Northern Ireland. I'm getting a lot of people ask me questions about Northern Ireland, and what are the paramilitaries doing? And we're talking about like the IRA and all that, UVF, UDA, all different factions, both sides, Protestants and Catholics. And obviously I don't know, but I have an idea and an opinion, you know what I mean? If you want to hear that, that's all I'm about, for entertainment purposes and educational purposes only. Got to keep myself right. I know it sounds ridiculous, but yeah. So basically, like, over there, the paramilitaries, it's like, well, I have seen stuff going up in walls, and I do believe it's from the Irish National Liberation Army, or a fraction, you know what I mean? A fraction of them. I'm not saying it's coming from the command, because fractions will sort of go vigilante sort of thing, you know, and it's just the way it is. A lot of guys over there have been in the troubles all their life, and then all of a sudden they stopped. It's, you know, it's like, it concerns me, because a lot of people are angry, but I'll try and I've got a sort of an idea of what way I want to go with this. So basically, for starters, there's a lot of informers. You know, one of the reasons I left, to be honest with you, was because you just didn't know who to trust anymore. You know, I can't say too much about this. I'll be very, very careful. But there is, on both sides, both know that there is a lot of informers. And everybody's got a price, as far as I'm concerned, you know, and it's hard, you know. We've seen it, you know, when the ceasefires were called in, you still had, I think it was another faction of the Republicans, and they kept getting done every time. And then they had this American came over, and he was working for him. He was working for FBI or something, you know what I mean? It was like really big infiltrations of the special services of Britain and America, infiltrating these organisations, so they couldn't fart or breathe without the police knowing about it. You know, they couldn't. Any operations were getting cut down straight away. Arm stumps were being found, etc., etc. So with that in mind, you know, there's not a lot they can do. You know, there isn't a lot they can do. You know, but the thing is, I'm getting a lot of people ask that question on phone calls and messages and stuff like that. And just people on the street, because generally, because I'm from Northern Ireland, I get asked some crazy stuff, you know. I spent most of my life getting asked, could I get people guns? That's what people used to always ask me, you give me a gun. Right, but, you know, it's like, I'm going to understand a couple of things here, like, you know, our British services must be going off their nut right now with intelligence, because we all know that, you know, that we've got 20,000 being watched, you know, and that means they're listening into their phones and watching them through the cameras, because we all know that they can watch you and listen to you on your phone, right? And people go, they need a warrant. This is the thing. This is why they make such a big deal about warrants in courts. You got to understand this. I know guys have got off with things because the warrant wasn't right, you know. But one of the reasons why they do that is so you feel comfortable that, oh, they can't do anything without a warrant. But what you got to also understand is they don't need a warrant if they're not going to use it in court. And they don't use none of this in court. It's called intelligence gathering. And they will let people get away with quite big, serious things to avoid, like, because they wouldn't come out and go, oh, we've been listening to your phone through your Apple or your Android and all the rest of it. Because we now know that they all work together. We've seen that with people going to jail with Facebook posts and everything. How they're in collaboration with social medias. the governments. So that's clear. Yeah. So, and then we know how they've managed to span Tommy, how Google and Android and all that. Like, you know, these are massive companies picking on a wee guy from Luton. Let's be honest. And so we can see all that, how they work. And also with Snowden, you know, you've got to understand, with, you know, you can't just ignore the kind of stuff that he came out with. Whether it was damaging your security or not, you know, that any security used against others will be used against us one day. It's that's always a clear theme through life, I believe. Like, you know, but the thing is, like, what I'm trying to say is they must be running about chasing their tails, like, and you know, because everybody's talking about really mad stuff right now, you know. And I'll just so you understand, the working class areas, we've got a lot of problems with mental health in Britain because there's no services, you know. There's not even services for our addiction. Our addiction services, everything, you've got to wait for ages for everything, you know. You need to have a bit of pull, you know what I mean? You need to have certain people pulling strings for you to get anything in this country, you know. And there's a lot of people know well, and so there's a lot of people saying things online that they wouldn't normally say, you know what I mean? And I want to make this appeal just while I'm here to anybody in Britain, you know, because this is really important. I'm actually surprised there hasn't been a red flag attack happen, so we get the blame, so the patriots get the blame, because it would affect our cause so much. We would be hated so quickly by everyone, and we would all be trampled over, you know. It would be horrible, and that's why I'm surprised it hasn't happened. And I want to make this clear that there is people out there with serious mental health issues, angry, very, very angry at the two-tier, what they're seeing with the two-tier, because it's brutal. I've covered it in my other videos, it's brutal. The two-tier is horrible to watch, and it's horrible for mental health. People are seriously suffering from what they're seeing, and I'm not exaggerating. You got to understand what that's like, feeling that if you step out of line once, you're going to get beat with batons, but if other people step out of line, they run away. So to see that and to feel that is horrible. I promise you, it really is horrible. This is my country. I love my country. My police are meant to protect me, no attack me. You know, so basically, I want to appeal to anybody in Britain and Ireland. You know, I'm going to keep Ireland out of this because I don't want shot. Right, simple as that. You know, I don't want to live for this because I don't want people picking up the wrong thing here. But you've got to understand, if there's somebody in your community talking about doing anything against minorities or like doing anything to Moss, you have to inform the police. You have to, because what will happen, well, honestly, I promise you, this is what will happen. If somebody does something like that, like we've seen before with the guy that drove the van or the car, whatever, into the guys down in London a load of years ago. I can't remember his name, but he was like a right-wing guy. And he joined a mailing list of Rebel News or something like that, you know, that Tommy was involved in. And because of that, during court, Tommy was brought through that court. They said he was a follower and he was listening to the teachings of Tommy, you know. And the thing is, when it's the other way around, as we've noticed, as soon as anybody does an attack on this soil that isn't from this country or is the child of people that aren't from this country, then straight away they come out with, oh, he's got mental health issues. That's how they get round to saying we don't have a terrorist attack. You understand? There's no two ways about it. There's terrorist attacks happening and they're being called, like, they're being brushed under the carpet by our government and they're saying it's mental health issues. But if it was the other way round, like we've seen with that guy who did have mental health issues, they turned him into some sort of monster that he wasn't. Yeah, he was a monster of such sorts. Yeah, totally agree with you, but not the monster that they were portraying. Them sort of monsters are calculated and cunning. This guy was not well. That's clear. Let me make that very clear. You know, and I'm not saying there's one rule for one and another rule for another. I'm just telling you the facts. If somebody from a different country does something in this country horrific, straight away people jump on it and say he's got mental health problems. You know, and I understand that in a way. I do understand it because you must have mental health problems to do something like that. But let's not get away from it. The cause is what it's all about. It's the cause, you know, and we cannot put people in hospital instead of prison for their causes, because you put me in prison every time for my causes. I was damaged. and all the rest of it, and you hammered me. The government hammered me every single time, and I was the most damaged kid you'd have ever met. So you've got to use, this is the problem, you get me? You can't turn around and say these people that are unliving innocents have got mental health issues, but yet look at somebody like me and go, I'm just a wee bugger, you know, and just jail me forever, for years, put me in solitary confinement. I'm not going to go on because I hate thinking this isn't about me. This is about my country. But the thing is, I'm trying to get across here, guys. You've got to listen very carefully to this. It's like, we have no intentions of doing anything violent against anybody. Our beef isn't with the people in this country. It's with the people who's let the people into this country. That's who our beef with is, our government. Our government is destroying the country. Yes, the people coming into the country, some of them are implicit in destroying that country, but they couldn't have done it without the government. In a court of law, that's conspiracy. You go down, whether you're driving the car or you're in the bank robbing it, you go down, you get the same time, there's no difference. You get me? And it terrifies me that something's going to happen soon, because I know how big and strong we're getting right now, and I know that the intelligence service in Britain are chasing their tails because there's so much happening and they don't know what's going on. They've got 20,000 people they're watching that's come into the country. They've got another 1,000 people that they've got in 24-hour surveillance. And you're talking, depending on how extreme that person is, how radical that person is, depending on how many people. So that could be 3 teams of 4 or 6, you know, rotating a day. So they've got an awful lot going on. They've got to be listening to what's going on in these mosques and that as well as all our social media groups. You know what I mean? And like, you can see how it worries me, how we can lose everything in an instant by one lone wolf head case. So we've got to be vigilant, guys, in our communities. And, you know, personally, I have had people talk to me in a frame of mind that did scare me, and I have been able to talk them down and explain to them how much damage it would do if you did go down that road. You know, a lot of people do just talk rubbish, but when it comes to something so serious, you can't just not take it seriously. You've got to take everything seriously right now. Yeah, it's a really sad time in Britain. Dangerous time, you know. Everybody's just scared to go to prison and all the rest of it for being honest and truthful, and, you know, you can't have an opinion, you know. It's quite alarming, so it is. Again, I keep going on, but I think I'm bringing good points to the table. It's things that are happening around me, things that I'm seeing, you know. People don't understand. Like, a lot of people can't see what we see because we're in it, we're living it. You know, I'm telling you that there's talk of all sorts online, on messages and WhatsApp groups and all the rest of it. People are so angry. I have not seen people so angry in a long time. I really haven't. When you see Protestants and Catholics coming together, believe you me, that's anger is driving that. If you're able to put all them years of history and anger behind you for this, that speaks volumes alone, guys. You guys in America, I know quite a lot of you guys are patriots and you love Ireland and all that, and quite a lot of you are torn between Britain and Ireland, you know, and some of you hate Britain. And I understand that some of you hate Britain. It's only because of the government, but it's not because of us. I understand that. But you have to make that a wee bit more clear. We're just normal guys like yous. We love family. We love our freedoms. We love just our freedoms. We love being free. You know, we love being able to practice any religion you want without bothering anybody else. That's always been a good thing, you know. But when churches start closing down to open up for mosques, it's like they're gone. Them churches are gone, you know. There's things happening. It's irreversible. And nobody knows the long term, whether it's good or bad. We can only make our assumptions. And if I assume, because of a certain way my country's going, I can assume that things are going to get really bad, then I should have that privilege to be able to assume that and have my own opinions. I should be being reassured by the government that, no, you're not being replaced. Yeah? No, we're not taking away religion. No, we're not going to get your women to cover up on the streets. No, we're not going to tell you that you can't walk your dogs out in the streets anymore. You know, this is all you want to hear, but we're not hearing it. They won't tell us. They won't say it. I mean, there's towns and cities around this country that, one, every second shop's boarded up now, and two, every third person's maybe an English person. You know, some streets and towns and places you just wouldn't recognise anymore. You know, and you got to understand what we lose when we lose that town, because they start to police themselves. They have this they've got this the Muslim Defence League, and just like the English Defence League back in the day, they have their gripes, you know, but they're patrolling the streets and they're attacking people. You know, they're shouting at women for wearing short skirts and stuff like that. You know, chasing people with dogs because they don't like dogs. You know, everything's got to be halal and your pigs and all certain meats. I don't know the full story. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, what's changing. You know, and if the government want to come out and just say, yeah, we're changing the demographic, it's going to be eventually yous are all just going to, you know, 50 years time there's going to be none of yous left, and the Muslims are going to be in full control and they're going to be in parliament, and there's nothing wrong with that. Listen to me, listen to what I'm saying. They're in parliament and they're in the police and the army and they've got complete control of the nation. Then at least we know and we can move, because we can't beat them. Everybody says, oh, we'll come out and we'll do. You can't. You can't. They'll police you. They'll soldier us. They're already there, and in every security job there is in England, there's a guy that can hardly speak English doing the job, right? And that's no word of lie. You just got to go and watch all the audits. DJE audit, DJE media. What's some of his stuff? There's other guys, once you start going down the audit route, you'll see them. They go out to all these places, and it's everywhere you go, security guards from different countries, you know. Everywhere, you know. And like, the police have got the power, they've got the numbers, they've been doing this a long time. You know, they'll do each area bit by bit. They'll jail everybody bit by bit. You know, they'll do what they need to do. They'll get rid of us. They'll jail us in different countries if they need to. They will. We'll never beat them. We'll never win. So there's no point pretending, because that's how they're able to go so far, because everybody thinks, well, if it gets too bad, we'll fight. You won't fight. There is no fight. We don't have guns like America. You know, we can't even organise. As soon as you start talking about anything like this, you're jailed. You put a post up, you're jailed. You share a post, you're jailed. What are you going to do to you if you think you're going to go on the streets? You know, it's not about the numbers. It's not about the numbers. It is about the numbers. We might have the numbers, but we don't have the men. The real men. We don't have the real men. You know, within a couple of weeks, all our real men would either be dead or in jail. And then what's that left? Guys, LGBTQ plus. Yeah, we're finished. If it goes down that way, there's no two ways about it. So, you know, this is what I'm saying. This is why it's scary, because we just want clarification that everything's going to be okay and it's going to stop, and you're going to start removing people that are breaking the law that come from different countries. It's no big thing they ask for. It's just simple common sense stuff. But whenever they don't do that common sense stuff, it really makes you worry, you know. And I don't want to become an alarmist. I'm just telling you what I see, how I feel, what the feeling is on the street, what bad guys are talking about in the pubs. I know I don't drink, but I like to go into the pub and talk to my mates and have a can of juice. You know, I can't do that. I like to talk to people when I'm out and about, but I like to be on my own. I like my own company. You know, but there's nothing, like, I don't know how to explain it. I do enjoy. The problem is that not everybody in life is good, and they're the ones I have to be careful about, because they're the ones that can turn my life upside down. They can totally ruin, they can totally destroy my life, you know. And that's why I have to be very careful, and I don't go out and I don't socialise like normal people, because I don't have the social skills. You know, I don't know how to take a joke sometimes. I don't know how to be funny with people. You know, I find people when they're telling jokes about, if they say something disrespectful and they go, I'm only joking. In my head, I think, well, that joke's came into your head to start with. It wasn't a joke when it first came into the head. Sometimes I feel like that, you know, and then whenever you pull them up about it, they go, oh, I'm only joking. But really, they're being disrespectful and taking the piss out of you. And it's not funny taking the piss out of anybody or being disrespectful unless you've known them an awful long time and you're like family or brother, you know what I mean? That's just how I feel, and I just don't have the social skills to be able to, with the comebacks the way some people can, to sort of make things easier. So that's just some of the problems I have, you know. But at the end of the day, I'm happy. You know, I'll always be, I don't know what it is, I'll always be happy, like, no matter where I am, whether prison or whatever. As long as I'm in prison for something that I know that, you know, I probably was backed in the corner for or whatever, or it was for honour or something like that, then yeah, because that's the only time I'll go to prison now, is if somebody backs me in the corner or if it's to do with my family, you know. I've got to be there to protect my family, so it would take something really big, you know what I mean, something really massive for me to jeopardise my freedom, you know. So, because I don't know how to handle certain situations, I have to be careful, and I have to sort of stay away from certain situations, you know. It's just the way it is, and I'm used to it now, you know. But no, we've got a problem in Britain. The police have got a problem in Britain. There's a lot of stuff being said and talked about online. It's never been said and talked about before. Lots of people are really, really angry, you know. And I want to say another thing, just to touch on this last thing about intelligence and how they gather it. Whenever I said to you, like, about they can watch you on your phone. They can watch you on your phone. They can listen to you. They can get into your mic and your camera. So they can get into your mic and your camera anytime they want. They need, when they say they need warrants for things, when you're up in court, oh, you need a warrant, and you see people getting off, so this wind died down a wee bit, when you see people getting off because the warrant isn't right, the reason why they emphasise that you need a warrant, and we need warrants for this and we need warrants for that, is to try and relax you all. So you're always like, well, they can't do this without a warrant. Yes, they can. They can't take you to court for it because there's no warrant. You can't be jailed for it, but they can listen to you. They can gather intelligence, and they will let crimes go, rather than, like, because if they start doing people for things that they've said while they've been watching and listening on their cameras and mics, you know, then people would be covering the cameras and turning their mics off and stuff like that, and being a lot more clever, especially people who would be up to no good. I got nothing to hide. You know, if I was up to no good, I wouldn't even have a phone. If I was that kind of person, I would have a phone I would have a phone that they would monitor. I would put random Facebook posts up so they would know I was active and everything. And I would just do normal stuff, photos of family, photos of cats, photos of dogs, and you know, and play the game, you know. But that phone would never go anywhere with me if I was around anybody that's involved in anything, or if I'm involved in anything, if I'm talking, if I'm going places, because it's a tracker, it's a listener, and it's a watcher. It's the government. That phone that you're looking at right now is the government. They're right next to you. They go to bed next to you at night. They wake up with you in the morning. They're with you every day, all day long, listening and watching if they need to. So, you know, there's a lot to take from Snowden, believe it or not. I know you American guys feel he was a bit of a traitor and all that, but in the calm of the day and in the light that we see now, we can take some stuff from that, guys, you know. You know, you got to be careful. You got to be very careful. You got to be careful what you're saying and what you're doing and who you're talking to, you know. Like I say, if somebody around me, one of my friends, followers, or somebody that's messaged me was to do something horrific, I would be thrilled into that. I would be thrilled into that. You know, I would most likely go to prison, and all I'm doing is this, and they would probably find a way to put me in prison just because he sent me a message or I'd spoke to him, you know. And that's the way it is. So you have to be very careful. This is why I say to people, if you do know anybody, you know, talk to them, you know, send them to me, tell them to watch my videos, you know. Sometimes that's all it needs, is a reassuring voice to let them know, yes, I feel the same as you, and yes, we are trying to do something about it, but we're going to go down the legal road. We're going to remove our government, we're going to remove our judges, we're going to have a complete clear out of the top elms of this country, and we're going to replace it with working class people that have lived it, that know. You know, obviously we're going to have, because we're not the brightest. We know that, you know, we have got smart people, but in a collective, you know, we when it comes to running countries, well, I'm not stupid how difficult it is. Of course, but we need men from the working class at the top to give the rest of them direction. It's the only way this country is going to survive. If it doesn't happen, we're fucked. Simple as that. You know, simple as that. And I believe it will happen. I do believe that. What I'm hearing, the way people are talking, you know, the whole nation is speaking and shouting and awakening. The whole nation, everybody. You got these clowns, these left-wing clowns, hanging on, trying, throwing the posts up. This is why you're seeing so many of these mental, crazy posts, because they're getting desperate, they're getting scared, they're trying to rally. Oh, how much support have I got? Let's put a post up, let's see. And then they realise negative. What are you doing, you clown? Get back in your hole. Go and live there. Go and move there. You know what I mean? This is what they're getting non-stop. So they're starting to worry. They're all starting to worry. The government are worrying. The far left, fascists are all starting to worry. You know, they're all scuttling about, running from one wee hole to another wee hole. I promise you guys, this is exactly what's happening right now. Because the people have always got the power. Always got the power. And you will see this in October at Tommy Robinson's rally. You will see the power. You're going to see them at so many rallies now. People are going to be coming out so much more now. And we are going to fill the streets up. We're going to fill the streets up that much that the far left aren't going to get anywhere near our speakers. You know, they probably won't even get near the city. They'll need to put them right outside the skirts because our people go that far back. That's what's ahead for this country, trust me. We're no victims to nobody. We're no longer letting our children, what's happening to our children. It's not happening anymore. I'm not going to go on and on because I keep repeating myself. But like I say, I don't apologise. Thank you for getting the end of this video once again. Thank you so much. I hope it's enlightened you a wee bit. I know it's all over the place, but it gives you a wee bit of insight if you're from America, the way things are over here. That's all I can do. My opinion, that's just what I see where I stay. Everybody got different views, you know. But these views are all starting to come out. More and more people are doing this, what I'm doing, you know, because it's all we've got. It's all we've got, you know. We're not going to be silenced. Once you try and silence us, that's when you realise how loud we really get. Thanks very much for listening, guys. God bless and have a really good Saturday. Good luck with the football over there.